Welcome. Maybe too close to the edge. We'll see. You're gonna have to forgive me, but my phone is showing no chat here. So if you have said something, I apologize. But it looks like YouTube is kind of. It's actually acting like I'm not a subscriber because it's my own channel. This is really weird. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. I'm going to check the chat now from behind the phone. We got in here. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Quitting time. I understand that. It's my mortise chisel. Gotta be careful handling this thing will cut me. All the edges are sharp here. So like this edge and this edge here, all that's sharp. It's advantageous for a piece like this where I'm trying to get straight edges. Well, in some cases here. I think I may deepen all of these a little bit so that the pieces sit in there a little more firm. Oh, Wes, welcome. They come in the right YouTube. Looks like I'm getting the chat now. So we're working on this we are working on this fixture here, lighting fixture. And I will show you shortly how they fit in. Well, kind of, if I can remember. Kind of put myself in a spot where it's tough to remember. Here's number one. Number one, right? That one fits nice and tight because I put the shim on. Cheated a little on that. This is number two. Now, I believe number two is going in an alternate direction from that. So that's number two. Number three. This is not three. This is number four. This is number three. And I just lost my little wedge. Number three. And I need to straighten this up so you can get a better. Yep, that's the way that three should go in. Now I need to get that little wedge that I just knocked down on the floor out so I can show you all what I have to shim these a little at the moment. So I'm thinking I should probably take down the these mortises to be a little bit deeper, and then I can lock these pieces in. This is number four. Oops. I believe number four was like, oh, I didn't put one in the right spot. I put one in the four slot. Anyway, this is a lighting fixture, abstract lighting fixture. Kind of supposed to look like cattail grass. That's kind of what I was going for. And that was my original idea too. I was like, I just want these graceful curves. Probably would have been better if I could go back and do it again to make it taller so it was freestanding, because this will probably have to sit on a table or have a shelf built for it. Like a floating shelf would be ideal for this. This is four right here, I believe. I might actually flip this thing around. This. Might have to watch the live again from earlier. Now that looks right now. This is loosey goosey, and I don't like that. Now there's one more mortise I'm cutting now, and that's for a 5th piece. And I'm going to help the other ones in place with this 5th piece. I don't know how yet. I mean, I know how, but I don't know which method I'm going to use to do that yet. So this one's going to go in somewhat like that, but I think it needs to be a little bit. All of these need to be deeper. 2 needs to be way deeper. So I'm going to go back in and deepen these. Yeah, that can't be that loosey goosey. And this one, they either got to be tight or they got to be deep, and that's how it has to work. You know, it's only going to be the way. Only 2 possibilities there. And then let me, if I can get this to hold in place for a second, I'll back the camera up. It may want to fall on me. Yeah, so that's what we have coming out right now, and it's a little angle is skewed a little bit. There will be a lighting fixture that will run through this piece, an LED cob light that will run through this piece, and then I'm going to angle the edges up of those, like if I cover it up kind of like that, like that, with a parabolic taper. Let's call it that. And yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah, so making a nice light fixture here. I'm gonna use I think I'm gonna go mostly chisels to deepen out these. Take a screenshot of that too, so I know what I'm doing here. This needs to be glued a little. That all of these mortises. I think that one's okay. That one's okay. 2 needs to be deeper. 1 maybe okay. 2 needs to be deeper. Four is not bad. 1's not bad, and 3 is okay with that stake in it, with that shim in there. But 2 and 5. 5 needs to be widened out a bit. That's kind of so I know my depth. Sorry if I scared people away with that. All right, good. Happy to have reached 3,000 subscribers today, but we'd love to have you as a member. So consider becoming a member if you enjoy creative content like this. We all know, unfortunately, that the PBSs of the world are going away along with some other stuff. So it's probably not much more American woodshop for a lot of people. So feel free to join this American woodshop and a bunch of other ones on YouTube that could use your patronage. When I place the second piece in here, I want it to really be firm, and it may not even when I get it deeper, so then I might have to shim it a bit. Like I told y'all, this is a mortise chisel, so it's sharp on all the sides. It means when it goes into a square shape, it's actually trimming those sides too. Yeah. Now, the tricky part about this here now is I'm very close to this edge. Very close. I feel like this fifth piece ties it all together nicely. This is the piece I just made in the bender today. And that's pretty firm in there. I think it probably could go deeper. Or it's just a bit. Yep. That's about right. Now, let me see if I can get to my comments. Oh, nice. Welcome. Double tap that screen, folks. Appreciate you being here. Working on a unique and creative light fixture here. Now that I got those in place, I want to see if now that I've deepened two, if two fits well. If two fits well, I think the other ones may fit together, and I'm gonna like zip time in the middle. I think. That's three. Oh, two. There's two. Yeah, thought that one might have to be deeper in there. It's just a bit loose. That's not a great fit. Let me see if I can find some kind of a shim to attach that's grain wise here. Something grain wise to attach. That's pretty close. Seems like it's the same. See, that's what I'm doing so you can see it on the other side. Just a slight shim, but it's not making a big difference. Let me see if I put one in the other way like that. That makes a little more difference. So it's possible I could take like a strip of maple, put it in there like that. It may be this is permanently glued in here. I wanted to make them exchangeable and stuff, but Smokes said, yay, finally done with, oh, VLC, welcome. By the way, you're a new member VLC. Hey, Calvin, Heather, West, and Random. Calvin, congratulations on your 3,000 subs. Thank you, VLC. Appreciate you having it. Appreciate you being here. Smoke said, finally done with edits, renders, and uploads. Now I can play for a little while. Well, that's great, Smoke. Welcome. So happy to have you. And happy to have all of you. It's 4 o'clock, around 4 o'clock, 4:30, 4:28 here on the East Coast of the United States. Make sure you double tap that screen, like this video, so Subscribe to the channel and consider becoming a member of your favorite channel and supporting what you like to watch. I think I might find a piece of more matchy wood than this. I've got a bunch. This is cherry, so it doesn't really match, but I'm sure I've got a piece of maple or something like this around here that's more appropriate for that hue. Oh, let me see. Let me see. Searching through these piles. Even pine wouldn't be bad. Or strip. This is a piece of maple here that may work. It's a little uneven. May not make a big difference aesthetically speaking. Yeah, I might stick with that. Carrie, member Carrie, welcome. I want to shout out all my members in the house today. Who else is in here? Of course, Wes. Shout out, big shout out to Wes. Shout out VLC. VLC is a member now. Smokes is a friend, not a member. Maybe one of these days, hopefully, but no pressure at all. You know, people do what they can when they can. Raja, welcome. Carrie, welcome. And I think that's pretty much the members that I've gotten here now. Shout out to all my members, all there throughout the world, and you know, in all their places. And now we do have a lot of international members. So happy to have y'all. Appreciate y'all. All right, so number 2 fits in there, and that's what I wanted to check. Number 5 with number 2. Number 5 needs to be worked a bit, just to get it soft like the other ones, because it's not sanded, or none of the curves are glued either. Heather B, maybe oh, right now, yeah, she's in the chat. That's good. I'm glad. I thought she was feeding the dogs and cats. So this is number 3. So this is the one that I wanted to basically deal with. I think it's this one. This is 3. That may need to be worked also. As always, I find a looser one when I go back. This is 1. 3 may go the other way. Do a screenshot because I forget to. My ADHD doesn't help with that. It's possible 2 is the other way. 3 is, you know, whatever. I want them to kind of be firm in every possible orientation. This is not 4, is it? It is 4. But that one's been shimmed, isn't it? Now there's so much clutter in here, which I like. I like the clutter here. I wanted some clutter, some stuff in different directions, different angles. Mike is here. Mike said, making my way to who I consider the pinnacle of acoustic guitar players, James Taylor. Well, shout out to Mike and shout out to James Taylor. Double tap that screen and like this video. Thank you, VLC. Carrie said she was good friends with James Taylor's daughter. Seems like a nice guy. I hope the daughter was nice too. Schmoke said he's seen fire and he's seen rain. I agree. I've seen both those things too. Heather B said, nah, just being a B because I know when I'm being ignored. What? Who's being ignored? I'm glad Heather's walking it back a bit there. Smokes up. A lot of LOLs there. Raja said, how are you, Mike brother? Welcome, Raja. They lived in a big, I'm not surprised that James Taylor lived in a sizable house every time I went over. Schmoke said, doggo needs boops. Have no idea what that means. Heather said, And then today I'm a lot closer. Jim Croce today. Oh, okay. We're doing all of the folky folks. Yeah. Bad Leroy Brown and all that. Well, welcome to Dad's Workshop, where we're working on this unique light fixture. it is kind of secure. Some of these joints I'm not super happy about. This one I got to do a better job of making it permanent. If I'm going to use a shim, it needs to be like glued up to the side of this. Let me make a mark on this and I'll cut it off where the, well, somewhere close to where that piece is. Probably right there is good. I don't want any problems there. Okay. All right. Carrie said that James Taylor, shout out James if you're out there watching my live stream right now. I call him Jim. Carrie said his house was not clean and that they had little dogs who went to the bathroom wherever they wanted to. Well, sometimes that happens. It was weird since I was never okay with my animals going to the bathroom in the house. Well, they could have been rescues too, Carrie. You know how those are. Oh, VLC, that's a very, very, very nice comment. VLC said, Calvin, anything you make looks out great. Turns out great. Yeah, we've had some, we had a lot of dogs, and we can definitely speak to the messes on the floor piece. I'm sure some. I'll stay away from it, but you know how it is. All right, so I think this one here, number 3, is actually like this. Let's orient that back like this because this is the way I remember it. And then to kind of, oh no, it looks like one of my little glue joints is kind of weak. I need to secure that one again. And then I'll put number 5 back in like this. I want number 5 to kind of push on number 3. I like doing stuff I haven't seen people done. I'm sure somebody's done something like this. He was busy becoming a folk rock legend. He had no time to poop or scoop, you know. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so 3 is still a little bit touch and go, apparently. Oh, this is my wedge with 3 here. Maybe better to wedge it from behind. Let's do this. I don't want to bend anything or break anything here. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I'm not so happy about that. It's got to be firm. I mean, there's no question about that. It's going to be breakable, so it's not going to be good for somebody with kids and dogs and stuff running around. But I want it to be firm enough that they don't have to worry about the thing being just a little bit top heavy right now. We're going to bring that center of gravity back to the middle, hopefully. I feel like I've lost something with my original arrangement here. Maybe that one of these is turned the wrong way from where I had it. But this I definitely want. Like, man, I can use a bunch of these little clamps like this. That's going to make it a little more top heavy on the temporary. Let's orient it so I can get it level because right now it's leaning all the way over here. This needs to be sanded. And then we've got our light over here, and I'm going to run the light whatever way I think is possible. If I had small dowels, I would also dowel this up. Small dowels, I might actually have them. I think that's probably the way to put these guys in. Forstner bit through the side of this mount and dowels. I don't know what happened with that. I lost a little piece there. Let's go back in the chat. Do, 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 do. Oh, wow. So much chat. I can't even keep up with it. Y'all are talking about cats and stuff. I'm going to let y'all keep that combo up. You know, I love you all, but if I read that, I wouldn't even know what was going on. Mine's not that far. Last comment BLC woodworking is my daughter trained 2 pet floppy-eared rabbits to use a litter box. Well, you know, rabbit poo is not very dangerous. Rabbit poo is actually some of the best poo there is because you can put it directly in your plants without composting it. Rabbit poop is like the magical own a rabbit, everybody. If you have plants at all, you will never need fertilizer. Rabbit poo is magical. And then make compost tea with it. Stinks a little, but it's amazing. So yeah, litter box, kind of a waste of that rabbit poo. No sandwiches though, thanks. Our rabbit passed away. I would take one though. Somebody got a rabbit for me? I'm all about a rabbit. That's one pet I will take on. I will take on a rabbit. Small woodlot, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, if you mail me a rabbit, please be humane and make sure that you put some lettuce in there. There are some like bamboo skewers over here. If I can size out these skewers, I think I can use them like dowels. I don't have my dowels. Kind of tempted to, I don't know if you can steam bend bamboo, but I'd like to turn these into a rope to try it out like this. Like that, see that? Except for bent, right? I've seen it done in a couple different ways. No, not lettuce the band, lettuce the vegetable, the leafy green. That one. I think if I leave these wedges in here while I dowel this in, let me get an approximate measurement on this. It looks like a quarter of an inch. Yeah, it looks like a quarter of an inch to me. Seems kind of, well, maybe a little under. Get a ruler. The ruler is more accurate on that. I'm gonna go with a quarter. Let's take the Forstner bits out. We'll size them up next to it. Maybe one I have to do with something smaller. That's a regular bit, like auger style. This that look. It's a quarter inch Forstner bit right there. Sort of noise. That looks slightly larger than what we're dealing with. We do not want to end up with a larger hole for the piece, and I don't have to use Forstner. I'll use a regular bit if I have to. I did for years before I started investing in Forstner bits. Set these chisels off to the side for a minute. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. My name is Calvin. Right now we're working on a light fixture. And I do believe that at this point it is probably best that I glue these into place, or maybe not. Maybe it's not, because I want to shape this stand also. So maybe we do that. Maybe we shape the stand now, and I'm going to kind of do it by ear. So let's do that because I've got these orientated the way that I think I want them. Screenshot on that. And then let me photo it. See, because my ADHD means I will forget. All right. I think I'm comfortable with taking them out now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please double tap that screen and like this video. I really appreciate that. It's almost 100 people up in here. So we would love to see that. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, where we just reached 3,000 subscribers. Woohoo! We're proud of that. It's okay to be proud of ourselves when we do something good. Next step is making the stand, and then we'll put these in here, and I'll ask Heather for some white paint. With them clipped together like that, I can kind of, it's easier for me to figure out where everything goes. Believe it or not, it is kind of tough to run a live stream and think at the same time. But my ADHD probably doesn't help very much. Hey, Norm, welcome. Welcome to all my friends. Thank you, everybody. But all my new folks, welcome also. Make sure you double tap that screen, like this video. I forget to do it in my own friends' live stream sometimes, but I make sure I catch myself at some point because we want to make sure we support what we watch. And some of y'all, that's the best support we can get is subscriptions and likes. So we appreciate those. You know, it's what you can do when you can. I just kind of want a little bit of a guide, and that's a little too spherical. I think I need I have some pieces here. Oh, yeah. Piece of cherry. Maple. I have a curve template I made a while back. I'll just kind of use that as my guide. Find one of these lines here. That out. I used to have a smaller template too. Welcome all people who are crafts people and just crafts watchers and everybody else. I'm starting to lose my voice again. Just want to add a little shape to this. Oh, Carrie with the super chat, $20 super chat. Let me get some acknowledge that super chat. Gotta acknowledge the super chat. I need some way to I know, just saw it. I'm kind of embarrassed to do like a djembe roll in front of Schmo because I know he knows how to play the djembe and I'm like really out of practice. Well, let's do this. $20 super chat, drum roll. $20 super chat from Carrie. I can't do that 20 times, so I'll do it two times. $20 super chat. Thank you, Carrie. I don't care if I scare people off. That doesn't matter to me. Thank you, Carrie. We appreciate Carrie. We appreciate all of you. We especially appreciate those types of donations that make this channel possible. So thank you to all of you. Thank you to Carrie. We're going to shape this end, and I think the best way to do this, I'm not going to, today I sawed through this thing with the handsaw. I was like, whoa, it's a workout. Yep, we're not going to stop making big deals out of super chats. So if you got a problem with watching channels, like we had somebody come in here the other day who I thought was a friend of the program, said, I had to watch an ad on the way in. Well, here's the thing about it, man. How else are we supposed to make this happen? Like I don't actually put ads, or we don't tell them to ads. And sometimes I don't even monetize my live streams. The one I did yesterday afternoon wasn't even monetized. So not saying names, it's just like that's crazy. Like if that upsets you to see an ad on somebody who you've spoken with and is showing you support, that's crazy. This maybe should go through the planer once or twice because it's a little bit uneven on the top here, and all of my hand planers are out of service. Like they got a sign on the door, except for this one, which is like barely in service. Oh, what happened here? Skip to live. That freeze. Oh no, there we are. All right, it's okay. Yeah, I know people are very opinionated. They are, and when they tell you there are, and when we tell them there are options, they say they don't like them either. Yeah, and that's the thing about it is that there are certain people that like, that's just gonna be how they're gonna roll, man. But I don't think that's gonna get them very far, because when they're and then these are people who have channels. What happens when your channel gets to a point where you're monetized, and some of them are very close? Are you gonna tell them don't show ads? Uh, I mean, they may. I don't know. They may. We may actually go after this with the saw. This is the rip cut side though. I just want to get this line established. All right, then we'll switch to cross cut. Probably could have done my beam saw through this, but people on live streams don't like beam saws very much. Well, what I do to scare everybody off? Sorry, man. People donate. I'm gonna shout them out. Oh, I know what they're like. They like that curved piece, so it's okay though. We'll get that back again in a second. That's why I get super chats. Y'all see that? Oh, that's the easy side. That's discouraging. See, not bad, right? Ooh. Oh, good for the biceps, I guess. And obviously the long side, but I think that's the best way to approach it. This side has more knots on it. We'll do the same thing. We'll start by using the rib cut side. I'll let the chat tell you, Chase. We're working on a lighting fixture right now. This is just the base for it. Feel free to run back to the beginning of the live stream. That'll show you too. Welcome. This is just the base for our lighting fixture. And now that's the rip cut side of my saw. So this side gave me problems earlier today. How close to that line am I? Not very. Let's go from the other side so I can see my cut line. Oh, yeah, I'm not surprised. VLC, you say you got to go to dinner. Yeah, just a base. Base oh, look at it. It's Waffles 123. They're a troll. No, don't ban them. No, I'm just kidding. Messing up my algorithm, Julian. So, wow, it's way off, right? No? Yes? No? No, it's good. There we go. Beautiful. Julian, my son Julian, shout out. That's one Waffles 123. My youngest. All right, so now I've got that done. Those two sides. I just wanted some style in those sides. I didn't want them to just look like 2x4s. We do stuff with 2x4s. We love 2x4s here at Dad's Workshop. Big 2x4 fans, as long as they're not bad 2x4s. Like you can be a good witch and a bad witch, right? It's Halloween time, right? Good witch, bad witch. Good 2x4, bad 2x4. Yes, Carrie said, "Is that Calvin's son?" Yes, Waffles 123 is one of my sons. He's probably already gone now. Lost interest. This design, I think, on the base was Heather's idea. I didn't get the parabola, really. We just got straight angles, somewhat, now that I look at them. Straight-ish. But I liked that idea, especially looking at the piece. I was like, yeah, just an angled base would be nice there. So what I'm going to do, y'all, is I'm actually going to drill pilot holes through this thing till I see them come through on these in these mortises. And this one needs to be a little deeper, I think. Once I see that, I'm going to put the piece in there, and I will go through that hole and finish making sure, once I know those are in the right spots, and it may even be from two sides, I'll put the piece in there and I'll drill through that hole into the piece, and I won't have to drill through two at once. I'll know I'm kind of headed in the right direction. Uh, guess it's a pro tip. I don't know. Everything I do, people question. So you better do this or do it like that, you know. Especially in woodwork, man. There are literally so many ways to do the same thing. There's a woodworking video on YouTube of a guy building a drum set out of solid oak, and he doesn't um, bend it at all. He actually routes it and builds it like barrels. It must be the heaviest drum set ever. It was definitely a beautiful drum set when he finished it. Absolutely amazing. And one of the tools that he made, this inverted router, I mean, he made this jig, I guess, is what it was, but this kid, he's on another level. Yeah, man. Is that your youngest you're talking about? Decided pink was the way to go. Yeah, I think your youngest, in some ways, is similar to my youngest. Very outspoken and like social. That's what I was telling Heather about yesterday. That they seem like in personality, they probably wouldn't get along because they're pretty similar. You know how that is. Also, one here's the cord for it. It would be nice if I can hide this somehow. Maybe I could cut a little. You could route out something in here, but maybe like a little area for the cord to go through so it doesn't stick out on the top and doesn't look trashy like that. Uh, Somewhere in here probably, without compromising those joints, is probably a way to do it. But for now, I need to focus on just getting the thing put together effectively. I think on my next model, which I'm going to make out of sassafras, let me show you all the board too. But first, um, let's set this piece back up because people really liked what that looked like, and I need to look at it again myself. We got our angular sides now. This is a prototype. Like everything I build is kind of like the first one is usually like that. Now with these shims, if I dowel this thing in place effectively, that's one, that should be four there. If I dowel this effectively, um, then actually I shouldn't need those shims anymore, so they'll just be in there to hold it straight while I dowel it. Yesterday I was trying to think of a solution that would allow me to work in 3D where I could put pieces in different directions. Carrie said, love that about the kids that are growing up today. Yeah, that they don't care. They're in general, some of the same words are thrown around in school. It kind of surprises me because of the culture they're in, being so much more tolerant in general. Everything is a certain type of shaming. They have a deeper psychological understanding from a young age than we had when I was growing up. They're taught terms and tolerance in a lot of cases. Sometimes they're not. We got this is number 2 and number 5 right here. Now the lamination of this plywood of number 5 is kind of coming apart. It might be because I left it in the bender too long. And then there's a little bit of a issue with one of these curves on number 2. I don't want it to break, so I'm going to have to reinforce that. Oh, 2. Hold on. Oh, okay, I get it. That's why this wasn't right. Because it was 3, 5. Glad I put those clamps on there. I would have never figured out where that was, even with the picture. I'd like to bring the angle in a little bit like this because I don't want all that uh, topsy turvy type stuff going on. And then like this. I'm gonna take that wedge over here. So, however, here's my philosophy here. However, I need to wedge this or shim it in order to get it in place, right? For me to put these, I'll call them dowels, but these are like marshmallow skewers, hot dog skewers right here, bamboo skewers. We're gonna try to use these as dowels. I can feel that they're inconsistent in size. Like the one on the left right here is more like a 1/4 inch, and the one on the right is significantly smaller. So they are not a consistent size. Now we know that. But if you handmade dowels, they wouldn't be either. Carrie said, "This is coming together. Thank you." Yeah, that's really what I was looking for. I was looking for a plant-like look to it, almost like what you would see if you were at the bottom of the Pacific, and you're in a kelp forest or something. We don't have kelp like that over here. Um, but we have seaweed, and this kind of reminds me of like cattails. I have an animated short. I never finished completely. It's almost finished. Actually, it is kind of finished. It's in an assembly stage, and part of it is a guy running through a cattail swamp multiple times through it. One of the images I really felt most passionate about was that. Then wading through cattails as well. I don't know if you guys got cattails up there in the Pacific Northwest. We had them in Minnesota. We have them here in North Carolina. And then there's some other spots like between these two. I can put a little bit of put a hole through there and dowel those together. So these can be doweled together for a more secure fit. Also, feel a little bit of crackage in there. All right. One more time, and then we are going to now. I'm going to start with those two. Smoke said, "My land is low enough in the back. I have cattails in the rainy season." Yeah, down there in Florida, you definitely have cattails and gators. Correct me if I'm wrong, Smoke. That's St. John's River down there in Jacksonville. Is that one of the only rivers that flows um, in the northern hemisphere that flows the other direction, like towards the North Pole? I'm trying to think. I think it is the St. John's River. Pretty big river down there. Important river. I put these as far down in the meat. Good, very good there. one may not be big enough. Is there? Gary said there's a river in New Hampshire that flows north as well. I know in Minnesota it is illegal to cut down cattails. You can't take, like, if you're in a ditch and you want to take one for your flower display, which people do frequently, it's actually illegal. They're protected. It's not in there yet. I could tell for sure it's not. Don't break. Don't break. Don't break. There's a gator in the bushes calling my name. Yeah, I think it's the Nile in that one is what I thought, but the Nashua River. Yeah, I've heard of that river. Definitely heard of the Merrimack River. Obviously, the namesake of the famous naval ship, which used to be called the CSS Virginia, was called then when it was taken by the I believe it was taken by the Union, and they called it USS. I don't know. The Merrimack would have been, whatever. Who cares? Battle of Hampton Roads. Look it up. One of them was the Merrimack. We'll ask Ricker next time. Non-resident historian. All right, that was not where it needed to be. All right, that needs to be seated all the way down there. And I need to check and see if there's a hole in it now. There is not. So we are going to put that all the way down in there. I am concerned it's not going far enough down to meet that hole, but we're going to find out right now. The worst possible way. That just kissed it just a little, and we are starting to separate that piece. It did not. All right, let's see if there's another way I can do this here. That bit is not long enough, or I'm going to have to put it out a bit. And here we got a problem with this thing is starting to break on me. Problems is just part of the thing. It's part of the whole thing. Now I got another piece down here. It's getting real wobbly. Maybe shimmed all the way up the side and stuff. It's being handled a lot. So we had it in there like this. Don't fall. I think that might have gone in there. No. No, okay. I see. Okay. A little low. That should have done it. Make sure we didn't break anything. Yep, there we go. We go, chat. Now, hopefully, this will go back in the same place, and we can get that through, because it's possible it won't. Yeah, it's in there. Huh, I didn't expect that to go back in. Kind of felt stupid for pulling it back out. That was my little wedge. All right, where we at right now? Love that Biltmore commercial. They're playing an old Christmas Carol on the one this year. I would probably, the Biltmore's out west in North Carolina. Let me see what we got in the chat. It was a lot here. Oh, I didn't know you ever lived here. Oh, sorry, I missed your smoke. See you, dude. Appreciate you being here. If he watches this replay, doubt it, but if he does, all right, let's cut this off. That's actually dry dowel, and I'm actually not even going to mess with it for the most part. I'm going to leave it dry like that because I didn't think about it before I drove it in. The dowel is already in there. This other one, I'll put a dowel in just to fill the hole. I made 2 holes there, just so y'all know. A mistake hole and one that actually was decent. Kind of hard to get with this mount. I want to thank you all for being here with me on Dad's Workshop, where we're getting close to 2 million views, and we really appreciate you being here. Make sure that you do subscribe, and we got other videos too. You know, if you're a video person and not a live stream type, check out some of our videos. I'm got one about my little adventures in making this wood bender that I'm using to do all of this stuff, or some of this stuff. No, that's all of this stuff. But it's just that some of it's kerf bending also. So give credit to that as well. Techniques I learned by watching YouTube. I never read any wood bending books, which is not the case with timber framing and stuff like that. Joinery, I have read books on that. So this is new to me, and there are a host of experts. So I'm not one of them. This is me experimenting with wood bending and trying to be an all-around woodworker and you know, uh, dabble with this. I actually could see myself doing a lot of it. I probably wouldn't do it if I didn't feel that about it. Oh, thank you, man. Mike said it's coming out beautiful, Calvin. Um, well, Carrie said, "Well, you are doing excellent." Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think it's gonna be unique and it's gonna be an eye catcher for people, and I think that's like what I'm going for. It's gonna Let's try something though. I kind of want to, with it set up like this, might be a way I can kind of clamp it in. Um, maybe I should. I don't want to dial this one in yet because it's not sanded. Maybe this one next. But let's like test the lights out. I'm kind of scared because I know they can be really bright. Not scared, but I don't want to like blind myself. We're just gonna wrap them around the thing to kind of give it a shot here. And then I'll put like a zip tie or two on there. I just want to see like what kind of brightness we're dealing with here, how much length I'm dealing with as well. I want to use as much as possible because as I read the book, because I read the manual of everything, as all of you who know me know. It's one of the only uh, thorough things I do because I've learned too many times through error that you should always read the manual. But anyway, you want to use as much of a string as you can because once you cut it off, I don't think you can use any more than that. What do we got here? Army Ranger Veterans Wood Comedy. Wow. All right, great. Thanks. He says he's seeing the potential. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Um, thank you. Rather than it being what one popper threw yesterday referred to as a grandma's beep. I'm not gonna. I wish I could beat myself. Beeping is so much more effective. Grandma's dong hanger, rustic dong hanger. That's what they call it. Tom, great. Yeah. Let's give her a run here on the power strip, or actually on the extension cord. Because I don't have fans running. That's why I love this time of year, man. When it's cooperative, it's like so nice to work out here. I can work out a long time out here. All right, close your eyes. Wow, that is bright, dude. That is really bright. Woo! Very, very bright. Now these can be bent at 90-degree angles too, which at least that's what they claim. So I wonder how it should be oriented in there. It looks cool, even on the YouTube image. It looks pretty cool. Let's try to level this up here a little bit. That's just me showing the light. It's not going to be how it's oriented on there, though. I'm not actually totally hating a weird lighting orientation like that. But y'all see, it's pretty strong light. Pretty strong light. Little. I didn't think it was weak, but I definitely knew, like, because I definitely knew that with the LED strip, it was a potential for a pretty strong light there. I'm like excited about the potential for this. Now, I also want to dabble in making Christmas decorations like this too. Um, because a piece like this, kind of oriented around Christmas, an abstract Christmas tree with a ring light, an LED cob around it, or something like that, I think could be a really festive. Is that how you envisioned it, Carrie? Carrie also envisioned this piece here, which I'm also working on at the same time. I know you're supposed to work on one piece at once. But this piece here, Carrie was talking about a hanging lamp fixture. So Heather and I were brainstorming that today with this, whether this could be hung upside down from the ceiling, which I think once I finish it, it should be able to be. Um, but, and I'm trying to see if there's heat coming from those. It's not a lot of heat being produced by these. So it's pretty much all light energy, which is what's great about LED. So this one also, we can even dabble with wrapping it around this one too, because I was curious what it would look like with this. Yeah, so Heather's idea also was to have the strings of lights up here by the top. I wonder if there's a way I can kind of simulate that on here. All right, one of the things they told me was do not plug it in while it's on the reel. I think that was in the manual, as I recall. As you all can see, there's a 3M adhesive strip on this too. Due diligence has me rewrapping it so I don't mess something up. But you apparently can crease this at 90-degree angles, and it will still work. Oh no, the Edison bulbs. Um, yeah, I wouldn't hate that either. Something a bright light source in the middle of that either. I didn't really envision that as a light fixture, but I do want to see what it looks like. There's nothing wrong with like checking it out, right? And this one we're going to put aside because I got that one dowel in, and I think what needs to happen is that I need to sand this piece. I need to glue this one, all of this one that's in there permanently. I have to work it while it's in here now, and so there's some emergency stuff I have to do this. I'm not going to be able to finish that tonight, unfortunately. That's how you know how it turns out around here. Dad's workshop. There's a lot of stuff that can't be finished tonight. I hope I don't break this trying to set it down. Well, it's holding up. So there's that at the moment. Knock on wood, not in that wood, but knock on wood. Um, all right. Now let's find somewhere to grab this thing. And it kind of doesn't do it justice to grab it by any of these particular um, curved pieces. I actually like the way it looks from that angle, guys. Oh, this piece needs to be worked too. Forgot about that. This needs to be chiseled down. This is what Heather was talking about. This area where there's a kind of a marred spot where there's a joint. Not the kind that Smoke Shop likes. The kind that we use in woodwork. Not as fun. Well, I don't know. They're as fun. I don't know if it's as fun. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna get into that. But you all know, um, I would blow a hole through it there and invert it hanging. Oh, right where I just put it. Yeah. Problem is I kerfed those, so it would have to be on a spot where there's enough meat. Maybe in that way, right? Can't be through this. Yeah, obviously you weren't talking about through this side. Um, Blow a hole through it there and invert it hanging from the cord, right where he just put the in and then vice. I like that idea too. It is definitely. I love swag. You guys know how I am about these unique lighting fixtures. I feel like you can have, you know, as a person with whatever mental health issues I have, obviously I have some. I have noticed that lighting can affect my mood a lot, and it's no BS. Like it really, what the lighting is in a room can just have a tremendous effect on how I feel. I think people need to do some more studies on that. But what were we talking about? Just wrapping it around here, just around the thing. I was kind of like Mike about it, where I liked the internal bright source of light from the inside. Definitely was an idea I liked. I kind of mulled over in my head with this. And if this was attached to these various points, I could see that being really cool too. But just to get an idea how it looks against bright light, you know, I don't hate that either. It's almost too bright for YouTube's live stream like cameras to kind of. Y'all ever see like move light, like guys that do time lapse art with flashlights? That's what it reminds me of. Um, I think probably it would have to be more organized on how you wrap it around. Otherwise, the frame or the shape of the piece doesn't even matter. It's a little overwhelming for the size of the piece, I think. This one, and I have another light strip, so I definitely can do something with it. But I think, like in this case, maybe it's overwhelming, or it has to be organized better. Oh, okay. Oh, I think I turned it off when I coiled it, didn't I? Or did I uncoil it? Okay, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. I think it said for an extended amount of time. It is not. There's not a lot of heat coming from it. EM coil. Oh, electromagnetic. Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know, man. Maybe I got to read the manual again. I don't recall it saying that you couldn't double back. But who said that? Mike. Yeah, it's a little bit of that. Woo, really bright though.
There potentially is a tube that you could put them in that would diffuse them, but also maybe then give you like an external thing to be able to secure to, aka like
Right.
glue down.
Yeah, because you remember when I was doing the oak bending and I cut the channel in there. It's just that was what I wanted to do, but those pieces got scrapped. So
if you were able to get like a tubing that could also diffuse it, one you could glue it to the thing, and
yeah.
then again, if the lights have a defect, you can basically rerun it.
Definitely like that translucent roofing panels that I use for a greenhouse building. If they have one panel of that cut up with a jigsaw, could be attached not to this, but to the larger pieces. This is just, I think this one might be. This I kind of designed to not be lit. We'll see.
Oh yeah, I mean it looks cool when you turn the lights on, no matter what.
Yeah,
it's all very pretty.
the spooling wire, yeah, the light would overshadow the actual sculpture. I agree. I agree, Rumpelstiltskin. Yeah, I think it's too much for that piece, and I agree with your input on that. By the way, welcome Rumpelstiltskin. I didn't see you in the chat. Yeah, I like this piece a lot, dude. I love the chaos of it. I spent a lot of time looking at it. It's not just something I threw together willy nilly. I sat with this thing a long time, considered what it meant to me, and it does have a meaning to me. And then with some of these bended pieces, I was like, really, it was difficult to get this thing together. Remember, I could only really bend one of these at a time. So imagine the amount of days, or some of you know, because you're in my live stream every day. Love y'all, appreciate you. You know that this took a number of days to produce these bent members to build this piece. So I'm quite proud of it. Quite proud of you all for being such great subscribers and fans to the channel. Love y'all. I'm glad that you came today too. But we are going to wrap it up now. I do want to tell you to go to my Instagram and please do follow me on Instagram. I don't have that many followers there. I'm just starting that. I'm going to start pushing my Instagram more. Obviously, you see I'm a monetized YouTube user, but I am not even close to that on Instagram. You might find that you have 10 times the amount of subscribers. It may make you feel good. Just go follow me on Instagram. I'll follow you back. I don't care about that. Trying to kind of build the Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, that's fine too. Also, we do Discord here, and I am on TikTok as well. More pitiful than my Instagram is my TikTok. I learned with an extension cord. I plugged it in while on a reel. It actually ignited. That's arcing, I believe, what you're talking about. Arcing? What did he call it? Electromagnetic arc. Is that what the EMA stands for? Is that what we had there? Creating an EM coil, electromagnetic coil. Yeah, I think arcing is what we're looking for there when you have two sources of power. But yeah, I don't know how much actual power is running through these. really this type of lighting is measured in par, not lumens. Lumens are not an accurate way to measure lighting. Par, particles of active radiation, is the best way to measure lighting. So that's what I usually use. It seems like it's pretty strong. Oh, thanks. Tools Reborn and Wabi Sabi Story. Love the crypto shirt, bro. Thank you. This is um Littleton is where Heather's dad has a museum. Shout out Steve. I'm sure Heather loves that I'm shouting out dad on here. I'm sure Steve is not here. I'm not worried about that at all. But yeah, uh, pretty popular crypto museum over there for a minute. Don't know if they're still in operation or not, but yeah, that's where that comes from. Thanks everybody for being here. Double tap that screen before you go. Check out my other videos. Follow me on Instagram. Consider becoming a member. Thank you to Carrie for that $20 super chat. Thank you to Mike for the 5 donated memberships today. Someone else donated memberships too today. I need to remember who that was. Dang. Who donated a membership? Carrie, you remember? Anybody else remember? Love y'all. I'll figure it out. I'm going to go back and I'm going to make that. I'm working on that video for y'all too. Do the next right thing, and I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Remember, I won't be here Monday or Tuesday. That's why I'm running these extra ones. Okay, download Instagram, Carrie. Love you.